See, this is when you know whatever Xander's filming is a big deal to him. Getting this steady shot with the tripod, crucial.
Actually, I got my big break filming documentary, usually only a handheld, right here in this city. That's how your agent first noticed me. I was reading Bergman. He said one should film as music. I never thought of it that way before, but everything I've done ever since has been shaped by music. Those behind-the-scene cuts Austin likes so much, straight out of hip-hop. You know, like some samples, like, will loop all the way through a song while others only pop in once? I did that, but with film. And then other genres, take ragtime. You know, one time
Time, bro.
What's up?
Look, honestly, your life's journey from Ball to, what's his name, Berkman, I want to hear more of that. I do. I want to hear everything, but just later. Just tell me later, bro, okay? Like, repeat it with me. Right now, I gotta get ready. Yeah, okay.
All right,
I appreciate you, though.
That's fair.
Later, hey, later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
MP, how you feeling?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Tim Legler and Greg Anthony. And our reporter on the sideline tonight, Allie LaForce. Looking now at some numbers for Zion Williamson.
He's been playing a much bigger role in their offense over the past 5 games. It comes across at his usage rate, which has gone up during that stretch. We'll see if they continue to lean on him here tonight.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. The forwards are Bridges and Towns. Jalen Brunson out there with Williams. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. And for the Pelicans, they've got Edgecombe. Longley is out there with Zion Williamson. Then it's Mitchell. And it's Wolf in at the 5 down low. So tonight, Tim, we got a fantastic matchup at the guard position. Indeed, some of the best in the league going head-to-head.
Yeah, this is the very top of the food chain when it comes to guard play in this league. Really no weaknesses out there for either backcourt.
And as the conversations swirl around MP, one of those, of course, is how vocal MP has been about these rivalry games he plays in. His goal is to win each and every one of them.
And for MP and this team, they love outdoing their rivals. It's been extra sweet for them and their fans. We've seen some barn burners with MP leading the charge. This is a confident team right now. Tonight, another opportunity for what would be a huge win this season. Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Williamson with a screen for Edgecombe.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
New Orleans shooting their first free throws of the evening.
shooting 2.
Free throw drops for Edgecombe. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. The offensive skill set for Karl Anthony Towns, Greg is a 7-footer, is very special, to say the least.
The outstanding shooting, the post play, and he's worked on his defense. He may never be elite at that end, but he ignites an offense.
Now, here's Mitchell, following the miss by Porzingis. Longley with the bucket.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Williams passes to Brunson. The call will be against VJ Edgecombe. That is his first foul of the game. Outside, Porzingis. Second-chance shot, and he sinks the layup.
And nice use of size by Porzingis inside, able to practically play on top of the D.
Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
I had a chance to catch up with James Borrego. When Karl Anthony Towns was brought up, Coach immediately chimed in, saying, yeah, the thing about Towns is the sheer size that he brings. Our guys will have to be physical and make him uncomfortable around the basket to have success. Physicality and aggressiveness will be the key. Kevin?
Okay, Allie, thank you.
The reflexes on Porzingis can surprise you. For a big, he plays with great quickness.
And finished off by Williamson.
Well, what a dunk artist this guy is. Whenever Williamson takes flight, you're just expecting to see something special.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. Now let's take a peek at the league leaders in scoring. Well, you look at Williams, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player.
And all you have to do is point to his name at the top of that list. Does that tell the story well enough or what? What a season.
Over to the wing. That's no good. Couldn't get his first shot to go. The Pelicans have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Now, here's Mitchell. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game.
Well, it's early, but I love their offensive game plan to this point.
And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for New York. Trailing by 2. On the wing, Williams. And again, it's the Knicks missing. New Orleans has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Williamson, the pass to Mitchell. Back to Williamson. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Brunson outside. Pass to Towns. Out to Bridges. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
No hesitation from Bridges. He gets the ball and is primed to take that shot.
Williamson against Towns. Here's Longley. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Latrey. The Knicks pull it in.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Really unacceptable letting Porzingis get that kind of positioning. Once he's established, it's over.
Brunson against Mitchell. To the inside. That's good from Edgecombe on the assist by Mitchell. 6 points here for B.J. Edgecombe. Bridges outside. Pass to Towns. And again, it's New York.
And how about the confidence right there? Towns feeling like he can shoot whenever and wherever he wants.
Williamson against Towns. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Here's Brunson. His last outing, 16 points for him. Edgecombe with the steal. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Longley for 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Longley's got his second basket of the night.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, you came to the right place.
And so it's New York with it. 4-point game. And GA, you started your career with the Knicks. What memories do you have from your time in New York?
Well, after winning a championship in college, it was great to play for a team in the NBA that had similar aspirations. So many great veterans to learn from and a Hall of Fame coach.
And that's exactly the type of pass we expect from a guy with his vision.
Brunson against Mitchell. To the middle. Shot clock at 6. Here's Williams. Wolf grabs the miss. Pelicans leading by 4. To the paint. Pass to Mitchell. Here's Wolf. Guarded by Porzingis. Edgecombe with it. He's against Williams. For 3, Mitchell. That's a no-go, and he's still looking for his first bucket after 2 shots. Down low, Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Interior passing is so difficult if you aren't precise. They were right there. Nice work.
New Orleans has gone 3 of 5 from three-point land so far in the ballgame. Here's Edgecombe. That one goes in for him, too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now here's Williams. Here's Bridges. Longley grabs the miss. Pelicans leading by 4. Inside. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Outstanding start from three-point range. Their shooters are on fire.
New York's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Screen by Porzingis. It's tipped. Back to Williams. And the shot is good. Williams has got 6 points.
Well, I'd watch him the rest of the game because he is seeing a lot of shots drop.
Williamson looking it over. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game. Outside Williams. Pass to Towns. New York needs to get off a shot. For 3, Bridges. It's rebounded by New Orleans. This their first look at this year's New York squad.
Yeah, and a bit of a revenge game for them as they were swept in the 2-game season series from last year.
Yeah, their pride took a hit. I think this game means just a little bit extra because of that.
While the season just started, GA, we have a few big storylines already.
Yeah, it doesn't take long in this league. The intense media scrutiny, social media, news travels fast.
That's good from Williams for the Knicks. Martin's checked in for Porzingis. And Anunoby subbed in for Mikal Bridges. And Williams drops them both.
And one of the responsibilities with being a great player is making free throws.
Messi with the ball. 8 points his last outing. They set the pick. George finds Messi. Here's Edgecombe. Whoa! He flew in there.
Wow! He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Now here's Brunson. He has yet to score. Shot from free throw range. Rebound by Williams. New Orleans leading by 5. New Orleans moving the ball around. Pass to Edgecombe. George with the screen on Williams. The 3. Yes, once again, he remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
And the defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Thanks. Well, MP in their last game against the Bulls was a man on a mission. He dropped 27 points, and he really stuffed that stat sheet.
Connects again from distance.
And he's almost 3rd now on the list of all-time three-pointers.
It's an amazing milestone he's approaching. To the wing right side. To the paint. Edgecombe, no good. Knicks trail by 5. Williams looking around. Pass to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
And how about the agility of Towns? Cutting with purpose there after setting the screen. Great display of his basketball IQ.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. On the wing, George. He's guarded by Anunoby. Towns with the steal. Here's Williams. Pelicans with the rebound.
The defense doing just enough there to affect that shot.
Pass to Williams. Now Edgecombe. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's P.J. Edgecombe making highlights for the New Orleans Pelicans. They kept going to him again and again. And he delivered with a monster quarter. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
What a jam!
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Here's Chambers. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Williams has a screen for Edgecombe. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
That's very smart use of the screen, and it sets up a very close look.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Knicks trail by 6. Dosunmu, the pass to Anunoby. Back to Dosumu. He takes it in. Towns wide open. A three-pointer, no good. And so George will bring it up for the Pelicans. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
In a hostile environment like that, the bench energy can really make a difference for your starters.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
What a great sequence. You gotta love the effort. That's big time.
Towns the screen. Dosumu, the pass to Ananobi. Halt the run, and again it's the Knicks missing.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
George looking around. Lays it up and banks it in. And it's a 12-point Pelican lead.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Towns finds Anunoby. Back to Towns. Over Misi. Towns with the bucket. Towns has got 8.
It's silky smooth there from the mid-range. Cat's mechanics on that jump shot are excellent.
Pass to Misi. Out to the right wing. And Edgecombe gets it to go. Edgecombe's got the lead up to 13 now for the Pelicans. And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Mikal Bridges checked in for the Knicks. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Left side, Towns. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Tim, you know, you've played it for so long. The intensity of competition can lead to some heated communication, even between those on the same team.
Oh, Kevin, believe me, in the 10 years I played in the league, you often see that between teammates because you have highly competitive individuals who aren't always going to see eye to eye.
But don't you think that's good, though, that competitive tension that may exist within a team?
It creates an edge, Kevin, that you need to win in this league.
Zion Williamson's checked in for Williams. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for New York. And Towns drops them both.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throw.
Outside, George. Back to Williamson. To the wing on the left. George with the screen on Bridges. Here's Edgecombe. 11 feet out, and he hits it. Edgecombe's got 22.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
New York moving the ball around. Towns for 3. New York, no good that time either. Williamson finds Alexander Walker. Driving to the basket. Nobody near George. Misses the 3. So for New York, their last game, a win against the Chicago Bulls. Brunson sets a screen for Towns. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Well, oftentimes illegal screens fall into a gray area, but that time he got called for it.
Anunoby outside. Towns against Williamson. Towns down low. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Pass to Edgecombe. Now Williamson. Alexander Walker on the wing. Brunson covering. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. Anunoby passes to Martin. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits.
And that is a high-quality shot. You will take it every time from that close.
Takes a step back. Pass to Misi. And Misi throws it down.
You see the playmaking ability of Williamson there. Great pass to set up his teammate.
Now, here's Anunoby. Back to Brunson. Outside, Towns. No good with the triple.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And Greg, we know he's a fearsome dunker, but Zion Williamson also has a soft touch.
And that's a great point, Kevin. He can finish in every way, either hand, through contact, off balance, on the run. A natural gift for converting around the rim.
Pass to Edgecombe. They set the screen. Going inside. It's Williamson, top of the key. It's rebounded by New York. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Reaches up top. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And it's out of bounds to the Pelicans. Now let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Zion Williamson is a force offensively, but now he's applying his physical gifts to the other end of the court. He said, quote, teams were hunting me on defense. Watching the film, I didn't like that. I just started taking a lot more pride in it, working on it so I can hold my own. Back to you.
Locking in. All right, Allie, we appreciate the report. George dishes to Williamson.
I got him.
Over Towns, and the rejection by Towns. Down low, here's Martin. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Martin's got it back down to within single digits for New York. Edgecombe with it, working on Williams. And Edgecombe gets it to go.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Runs in the pass to Wilson. Oh, man!
And I gotta say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. Here's Alexander Walker. He's coming off a 10-point game against Dallas.
And let's not discount what he did from the line. He stopped the clock and gave his team a chance to set up their half-court defense.
Towns kicks to Williams. Towns sets the pick for Williams. Back to Towns. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Pass to Edgecombe. Here's Wolf. Now here's Williamson. He's guarded by Williams. No one near Edgecombe as he lets it fly. And that one drops. Williamson's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And Zion able to convert on that second chance opportunity.
Outside Williams. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And this season, he's maintained very good form at the line, shooting at about an 83% clip.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Longley comes in for George. And it's Mitchell in for Nickeil Alexander Walker. When you think about elite offensive players, Tim, what's one area that can really put them over the top and into a completely different category?
I think it's those guys that have a willingness to move without the basketball. If you have a willingness to run and cut and respace, it's going to create a lot of problems for a defense.
Has that even become more of a thing now as you watch these high-octane space and pace type offenses?
There is no question it's become something that's a priority for teams now, and I also think the ingenuity of these young coaches creates a better flow offensively if you're willing to run without the basketball.
Ah, that's terrific. Chambers with a screen on Mitchell. Williams, and the bank shot is good. Williams has got 18 points in the game. New Orleans leading by 6. Edgecombe with it. He had 19 points in the win against Dallas. Williamson in the post. He's guarded by Anunoby. And that one's good, Williamson.
Yeah, and quick and shifty there off the bounce. Fluid with that shot motion as well. Williamson continues to impress. Now, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And that one falls for Bridges.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Zinkis, he's jacked in for Chambers, and Karl-Anthony Towns subbed in for Anunoby. Both free throws good from Bridges. And here is Mitchell. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Edgecombe. Puts the move on.
Unreal.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
Well, that's a shot he should make a majority of the time.
Porzingis kicks to Brunson. And another turnover here by New York. A chance now to check out the Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Sunday, they'll head back home to host the Miami Heat. And then on Tuesday, they'll go up against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks.
And for their matchup with Detroit, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
Edgecombe with it, working on Williams. Edgecombe, no good. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
Williams for 3. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Pass to Edgecombe. Longley for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Longley's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
He's picking up right where he left off from beyond the arc this quarter.
Outside Williams. Good if it goes.
Count it! He caught it!
That's how you do it. Stay patient, wait for the opportunity, and boom.
That's just great awareness. One eye on the clock, one eye on the hoop.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll return shortly.
Hey, everybody. Shaq, do you know what time it is? Nope. It's time to check out the early season NBA Power Rankings. And let's do something we never, ever, ever do, and that's go off topic.
What topic?
So we don't have a topic, Shaq?
Isn't that a topic, being off topic?
Well, that was more no topic than off topic, but that's all the time we have for this topic, thankfully. Turning back now to that game we've been watching. A positive first half for the New Orleans Pelicans.
They're hitting their threes, but no guarantee that that continues. If I'm them, I'm coming out the second half with even more attack.
See, this is why you should be coaching, Jet. And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. We're seeing a tremendous game from VJ Edgecombe.
Well, through the first two, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
And this offense continues to find him in his sweet spots from deep.
New Orleans leading by 6. We've got Longley. Edgecombe is out there with Mitchell. Then there's Williamson. And it's Wolf at the center position. So that's who James Borrego starts the second half with. Just 5 on the clock. With the step back, here's Edgecombe. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And legs from going undrafted to becoming a 3-point contest champion, you had to fight for your place in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, that's an understatement. Yes, undrafted in '88. I played in just about every league imaginable, including a year in France. Had a bunch of 10-day contracts early on, but I didn't get my first full-time NBA contract until 1993 with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, your perseverance and tenacity definitely paid off.
Certainly didn't take no for an answer, I can tell you that.
And so he hits both. Here's Brunson. Hasn't made one yet. Bridges outside. Pass to Williams. The kick out to Towns. Goes up the baseline. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Williamson's got his 5th rebound in this one. There's a screen. It doesn't go for him. Towns with the defensive effort. There's Williams behind the back and lays it in. 25 points for Williams.
Well, the fans loved it, but I think the coach only does if it goes in.
Here's Edgecombe. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Outside, Towns. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Right side, Williams. The kick out to Towns. Goes back up. Longley grabs the miss. Longley's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
That's a cold start out of the break. Only one of his first 4 has he gotten to go.
Here's Edgecombe. Defended by Bridges. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Yeah, he's going to knock that down if you give it to him. Uncompetitive there defensively.
Well, if you're going to give him that shot, he will take it any time.
Towns sets the pick for Williams to the inside. And the shot is good. The Pelican lead has been cut down now to just 8 points with the basket from Karl-Anthony Towns. Williamson, a screen on Williams. Edgecombe. Williamson, the pass to Mitchell. Pass to Wolf. And it's off from three-point range. Knicks trail by 8. Bridges passes to Brunson. Back to Bridges. Williams for 3. Pelicans pull it in. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Here's Wolf. Here's Edgecombe. And the shot falls short this time.
And you see the frustration on his face. He had a great opportunity there, and he blew it.
Outside Williams. Shoots over Edgecombe. And the shot is good. The Pelican lead has been cut down to 6 and the bucket from Williams.
And as you can see, that shot is well within his wheelhouse.
Mitchell with the bounce pass. Edgecombe with it, working on Williams. That one drops for him. 34 points here for P.J. Edgecombe. And here's Brunson. He'll bring it up for New York. To the middle. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at the Pelicans. 4th in the conference, an excellent season so far for them, though they'd like to jump into the top tier, maybe the top 3.
And, you know, for the Pelicans, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Well, this is kind of where we expected them to be. They're a very good team, maybe even great, but they are still one level below the very top.
To the inside, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Outside Williams. To the paint. Brunson being aggressive.
And Brunson recognizes how to execute inside. The D must be more physical with it.
Second round pick back in 2018. Stardom wasn't expected for Jalen Brunson, but he's always been a winner.
You look at his physical attributes, nothing jumps out at you, but it's all between the ears with him. The skill, the footwork, the vision, that's what makes him elite.
Changing ends quickly, he's rewarded with a high percentage look.
And they are showing you why it's so important to get up the floor before the defense can set themselves.
Now, here's Mitchell. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Pass to Edgecombe. Williamson outside. And finished off by Williamson.
Goodness. I mean, we feel those science dunks shake the floor.
Oh, that's an outstanding view from the AT&T Connected Cam. Now, Brunson. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game. Some nice passing by New York here. Towns up top. Wolf grabs the miss. Wolf got his 4th rebound in this one.
Yeah, this quarter has just been a struggle for him offensively.
Here's Edgecombe. He's guarded by Williams. And the dunk by Edgecombe.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Mitchell against Brunson. Count that bucket.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Mitchell wide open. No good on the 3.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Williams for 3. Pelicans with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
After making 2 threes in the first half, the defense has really tightened up on him here, and he's yet to hit one in the second.
And Williamson gets it to go. Williamson's got 12 in the game.
And this team encourages Zion to be assertive inside. They know how skilled and overpowering he can be.
Basket counts, and that's 31 points for Williams.
And you know, he's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. OG Anunoby's checked in for Bridges. While we have a break in the action, now let's check out the league's best shooting teams. Pelicans, number 1. Second, the Knicks.
And here we've got 2 teams shooting the ball so well on the season, and neither one hesitates to pull the trigger. This is a great matchup.
Williamson against Towns. Williamson left side. And the rejection by Towns.
And great reach and determination from the big fella. This is why Towns gets so many blocks. You've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. Pelicans leading by 6. Pass to Edgecombe. George sets a screen for Edgecombe. Off target from outside.
Well, after spacing the floor for them in the first half, he's gone cold from out there.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Well, he led his teammate and hit him in stride. You really can't do it any better than that.
Here's Edgecombe. Pass to Williamson. Another miss by Williamson.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Here's Williams. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And here's George. Williamson left side. And he comes up with the deuce. Williamson's got 14 points.
We've all fallen in love with the three-point shot, but that is how the game was designed to be played. Down low, get close, open looks.
It really is something else to watch a guy like Towns shoot from that far out.
George against Anunoby. Inside, here's Misi, and Misi throws it down.
And he had more than enough room there for one of those trademark slams that he's become noted for.
And Greg, don't you think once he got that space, you just knew it was going to happen?
So did the defense.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that will get him going. He thrives on that type of play.
On the wing, George. A minute 42 left in the third quarter. And Misi throws it down.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Martin's checked in for New York. Chambers comes in for Jalen Brunson. Knicks trail by 5. Here is Williams. 33 points for him. Down low. One-on-one fast break. The three from George. Rebound by Williams.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Still scoreless. Pass to George. It's stolen. And pushing it up. Here's New York. Towns for three. It's hauled in by George. Pelicans leading by 5. And it's Alexander Walker in the corner. And again, New Orleans has no luck. New York's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. The floater misses at the rim. The Pelicans shooting around 48% so far in the third. To the middle. Here's Messi. And Messi throws it down.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim. And so it's P.J. Edgecombe making highlights for the Pelicans. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We've got more in store for you right after this. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Well, he made the right play. It didn't have to be a highlight reel play, and that's all you can ask from any position.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Chambers out there with Anunoby. Then it's Jalen Brunson. Then it's Martin. And it's Bridges in at the 2 spot. And that one falls for Martin. New Orleans leading by 4. On the wing, George. Williams a screen. George passes to Williams. Inside. Here's Anunoby. Pelicans pull it in. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Here's Alexander Walker. Brunson covering. And Messi throws it down.
And won't find many more games as entertaining as this one.
This is what the fans came to see. A lot of great plays going back and forth.
And great intensity here down the stretch. He's not one to shrink in the moment.
And that is great leadership. He certainly has that clutch gene that every team needs.
To the inside. There's Williams. Martin with the block. Here's Chambers. And some very quick points for him on that possession. About a minute and a half into the 4th quarter now. Williams a screen on Bridges. Outside for George. From outside off the mark. New York trailing. Here's Chambers. Bridges outside. Martin with the screen for Bridges. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. The Pelicans have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the 4th quarter. George passes to Alexander Walker. Picked by Williams. To the paint. And it's Williams with the jam.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Bridges inside. Pass to Anunoby. Out to the right wing. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Brunson. Pelicans pull it in. Nisi's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Now, Alexander Walker. Misi's shot is good.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Now here's Brunson. Tight defense on him. Off target from three-point range. Pelicans leading by 6. Pass to Misi. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. And now the fast break. Bridges with the ball. Trying to find Anunoby. Gets it to him.
Not a ball stopper on the wing. Bridges with the helper.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Zion Williamson's checked in for Williams. Porzingis is checked in for the Knicks. Williams comes in for Chambers. And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
I was able to listen in on what James Borrego was going over with his team. He told them, no time to celebrate. The work is not finished. We've got to stick with it and keep growing what we've got here. Words of wisdom for his squad. Back to you.
Thank you, Allie. Here's Edgecombe. He's guarded by Williams. And Misi throws it down.
And I would not be surprised to see them double him up here.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for New Orleans.
The mid-range game has been there for them all game long. And that old-school approach still getting it done in this one.
And they've also done an outstanding job scoring in the paint, getting close looks and just pounding them inside.
Free throw, no good for Misi. And so Anunoby will bring it up for New York. They trail by 6, and the shot goes down.
That's an excellent play call to free him up from the defense.
He is in attack mode every time up the floor, every single night.
They set the pick to the inside. Misi.
What a heads-up pass to know that his teammate was going to be available down in the paint.
Outside Williams. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Keep getting it to this man. I mean, once Porzingis catches fire, there is no putting that out.
Pelicans leading by 4. To the left wing. Down low. And Misi throws it down.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
One of the best in the business, absolutely. Outside Williams. Porzingis passes to Anunoby. Back to Porzingis. Pass to Williams. Shoots the 3. It's hauled in by George. For New Orleans, they've gone 6 of 8 from the field in the 4th so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Stolen by Anunoby. Outside Williams. Now Anunoby. Defended by Misi. Williams from outside. It's rebounded by New Orleans. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Pass to George. Here's Edgecombe. He's guarded by Anunoby. Here's Williamson. And it's good for 2. And the Pelicans lead by 8.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Brunson outside. Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
What a great pass. It was on time and on target.
For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the 4th quarter. Terrific shooting. There's the pick. Here's George. And the layup falls.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
And Mike Brown decides to call timeout. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page. Towns, he's checked in for the Knicks. Knicks trail by 8. Outside Williams. Towns kicks to Williams. Towns the screen. Williams. Wow, what a play!
Unbelievable!
Oh, forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend.
And how? Brilliant throwdown. Shoots from the corner. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to it?
Well, the volume has been there, but so has the efficiency, which is why they're in control of this game.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Mikal Bridges checked in for Anunoby.
One shot.
And at 7'3", Porzingis could have been just another big, but he defies expectations. He's got such an impressive array of abilities.
Outside, Longley. Pass to Wolf. Back to Longley. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Edgecombe. Off target with his 3.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Shot's good by Williams.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Pass to Longley. On the wing, Mitchell. Brunson covering. Here's Edgecombe. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, the defense should consider themselves lucky there because he's not usually one to miss those kinds of looks.
Screen by Porzingis. Here's Williams. Whoa! What a play!
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
Well, my feeling is you just want to make sure it's called consistently both ways.
And that great replay brought to us by the AT&T Connected Cam. New York has gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Brunson surveying the D. Outside Williams to take the lead. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Williams has got 43 points.
And he has led the attack for them the entire game, and now he's trying to get them to the finish line.
Here's Edgecombe. He's guarded by Williams. Edgecombe with it for 3. Towns with the rebound.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
On the wing, Williams. Outside, Brunson. Puts one up from 19. Does not go. New Orleans has gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Outside, Longley. Here's Edgecombe. Brunson covering. Here's Mitchell. And he can't stop the run as that misses. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Williams. Good work there as it goes down.
Yeah, I love that. He comes off the pick and takes it right to the hole.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. Towns against Williamson. Oh, what a finish.
Some young players tend to defer in big moments. Not Zion.
Bridges. The three is off.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror.
And he jams it in. Well, as we move into the fourth, it's been an even game.
Guys, teams have exchanged the lead 5 times thus far.
And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the New York Knicks. They trail by 1. And 101 left to play here in the fourth.
Whoa, the nerves on this guy.
Completely unfazed by what's at stake. That's just plus.
Longley against Bridges.
And just fast off the floor to challenge shots. Porzingis, this helps him get a lot of blocks like that.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Towns.
And that could be pivotal. You just can't afford to turn the ball over in those situations.
The game has come down to this.
Huge possession.
Here's Edgecombe. He's guarded by Williams. Now Edgecombe. Listen to that.
What is the decibel count in this building?
And here is Williams. And that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans. Well, 4 quarters weren't enough to decide this ballgame. Sit back and enjoy as we move on to overtime. Now here's Brunson. Zion Williamson is out there with Longley. And it's Mitchell, and it's Wolf in at the 5. Another bucket! Wow!
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. The Pelicans trail. Williamson with a screen for Mitchell. Now Williamson. 6 to shoot. Williams with the rebound. The Knicks shooting percentage, 59%. The offense is running smoothly. Off target from outside.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Towns against Williamson. Oh, what an assist. Leading him to the bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here we've got Brunson. We're in overtime and 90 seconds gone here in what has been a great one so far. Crane from outside.
He must have visualized this one because everything is falling.
Towns against Williamson. Doesn't get that one. The Knicks leading by 3. All right, here's Williams.
Now Towns. Brunson fires. Porzingis. Oh, that was a two-hander.
And talk about persistence. Porzingis just being a bully on the offensive glass and punishing the opposition.
Edgecombe with it. He's against Williams.
Shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long?
And this is why he's a go-to option. Towns enjoys getting the chance to come up big for his team.
Now Mitchell. Here's Edgecombe. Shoots. Rebounded by Towns. And here's Bridges. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Williams does not go in. Pelicans trail by 5. Here's Williamson. Layup, no good.
Well, the defense challenged him just enough to force that miss. They really collapsed when he got close to the rim.
No good. For New Orleans, they've gotten off to a little bit of a slow start from the field in overtime. Just 2 of 6 so far.
Yeah, I think he forced that a little bit there. Should have tried for a higher percentage look from the 3.
Now Williams. And another one falls.
And he's up to 52 points.
Yeah, making a GA look all too easy right now. 54 seconds left in overtime. And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Williamson with it. Puts it up from 12, and it doesn't go. Outside Williams. Now Brunson. Mitchell with the steal.
And I think they realize any hope of a comeback is gone.
Yeah, I think it's time to wave the white flag.
Yeah, easy call.
Good on the first, and that turns the lead to 6. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. And now they decide to foul intentionally. Here's Williams, and they go to the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. And Greg, it looks like time is going to run out on him here.
Yeah, I mean, unless they come up with an absolute miracle. And guys, overtime not nearly as competitive as regulation. They'd used up all their energy just getting it to overtime. And guys, overtime not nearly as competitive as regulation. They've used up all their energy just getting it to overtime.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. Went down the stretch, but things finally came together for him in overtime.
Yeah, probably didn't anticipate that this one would be that close down the wire, but give them credit. They were able to regroup in that overtime, and this win has to feel satisfying.
And that about wraps it up. Alongside Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and our reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks. So long.
Right here.
Miss Conway.
When you guys lose, you often talk about keeping things simple, getting back to basics. With this win behind you, how do you continue improvements that you made tonight that helped seal the victory?
You guys are funny. We win a big game against a rival, and you're talking about what happens when we lose. Yo, Zen, they got me up here talking about what happens when we lose, bro. Lose. Okay, yeah. I'd say every opponent is different. So there are things we did tonight that helped us succeed that wouldn't help us against the next opponent. We can't always repeat the results, but if we repeat what we train for and communicate on both sides, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Great, thank you.
MP, right here. MP, come on. Right here.